Alright, so I watched a series recently called Yofukashi no Ute, or Call of the Night. This is a difficult one to recommend because I've got multiple serious complaints, but I wouldn't call it a bad series overall. There are just some strange decisions regarding it. And I wouldn't really feel good if I were to slam one of a few vampire anime. So I suppose it is a recommendation. Tentatively. What is it about? Ko is just your average Japanese middle school student. He does well, but he just doesn't connect to the people in his class, or society as a whole. Left all on his lonesome, on his own he decides to explore the night city, and soon enough abandons the normal routine altogether. But when a vampire rears her pretty little head, he is truly smitten with the nocturnal activities. It's difficult to make it sound interesting. I don't think I succeeded there. It's a bit of a bait and switch though. About that later. What did I like? The general mood of it. I think the message or moral of the story is it's okay to be different, which is really nice. A lot of anime is about fighting or enduring hardships, making friends, declining advances of perverted harems, helping people, all that realistic stuff. But here, it's difficult. It's different. The main character has to do something, and despite it making zero sense, he just can't do it. And yet, everyone accepts him. Everyone has their problems, flaws and whatnot, and at one point there's a nice little speech about that. It's all very comforting. Also, I've enjoyed the visuals. The shots of a night city are amazing. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and I very much struggle to come up with enough to truly describe the aesthetic beauty of even one. The streets are rarely dark despite realism, and illuminated in a very peculiar way. The one time the characters actually do get somewhere dark, it doesn't last long and quickly shifts to reflect the situation, to a purplish pink. The animation as well, there are a few times which show the characters do some minor movement which could have been ignored or done in a lazy way, but there is quite a bit of attention to detail there. I'd especially praise the moment in episode 12, around 17 minutes. That... I don't know if there's a word for it, but I think there should be. It's been both aroused and scared. Ooh. And then there's the fact that it's about vampires. I enjoy the vampire stuff. Sure, it's a stupid bias, but I just had to point it out. Vampires are a fun concept. What did I dislike? The story. At first, the formula seems to be about trying something new. A bit more gets revealed about the characters, and then they have fun doing whatever. Come episode 6, there is a major shift into almost a harem anime. In addition, there's a bizarre take on the vampire mythos. So for one, it seems like they can be in the sun, as Nazuna does not even close the window. 2 is how one becomes a vampire. Fall in love with a vampire and have them drink your blood. It's not the worst idea, I suppose, but the entire premise relies on having Ko fall in love with Nazuna. And he obviously did. The things he does and says very much support that, and yet, for the sake of the story, it just doesn't happen. Meanwhile, the local Camarilla doesn't seem to mind that there is a gaggle of humans who know nothing, who know about vampires, talking about killing only once in a while. Oh, and another thing, to start, the vampire has to not drink for 10 years. 10 years. I just rolled my eyes so hard they hurt. So the overall world and its rules are somewhat idiotic. And then there's an elephant in the room, the character designs. Promotional stuff probably already made it clear that there will be some skimpy outfits, or on a girl who doesn't really look old enough, let's say. But why stop there? If you check out how Akira looks, you'd see even more of a Japanese deviancy. A girl who is supposedly 14, just like the main character, with boobs as gigantic as her head. Each. I'm not saying that's impossible, but good fucking lord, why does it have to be? Nearly every female character in this got ginormous melons. If I had to guess, at one point there's a description given. Explanation how well does one character knows the main character, and there's a line about being mostly asexual, but still loving big boobs. So, I believe this kind of display is just the offer of his whole shebang, self-inserting himself into a story with big titty vampire chicks and big-breasted women in general. I'm just getting tired of this shit. It really drags the whole industry down. Just watch porn for fuck's sake. or softcore crap, I don't know, I don't care, I'm just so tired of this creepy shit and an otherwise fine anime. Please stop sexualizing minors. Whatever. Another thing I'd complain about is the music. This is a very subjective thing, which is why I list it last, but I disliked it quite a bit. The first episode is the best example of that. There's a magical scene of the main duo experiencing the city, and the song plays. Boy, did it take me out of the moment right there and then. I am not sure if that's rap or something else, but it was entirely out of place. All the music in this felt out of place. I've had something a lot more ambient in mind. Definitely not loud singing. So, it's a mess. A bit of a unique one. So I guess it gets a pass. But the problems are still very much there.